Hello everyone. Yes, I'm alive. I'm doing just fine. Hello all of my otaku friends. My name is Profitaku and welcome back to my channel for my June 2024 manga haul. I may have spent a few weeks in the MangaTube dead zone, but yes, I have been reading and yes, I've been collecting. I've got a variety of things to show y'all this month. Stay tuned. First up, let's start with the book sent over to me by the fine folks at Yen Press. As always, thanks so much to Callista and the team for continuing to support the channel and sending me books to put some new things on y'all's radar. First up is volume 4 of my dear Curse Casting Vampirist. If you want a mix of politics and romance, a mix of like Tokyo Ghoul, sci-fi, crazy monsters, great action, really interesting story. I really love this manga. Super underrated. Nobody is picking this up, and this is one that you definitely need to grab because it's just been an enjoyable read from volume 1 to now. Next up is volume 2 of a manga adaptation, Bride of the Barrier Master. I thoroughly enjoy this series. What really blows me away is the world. I love that you have these barriers and you have to protect this village and you have this girl who has all these powers. It's really interesting, fun, dynamic, political things going on, and the manga adaptation is very well done. I love the artwork. I really love the pacing of the first volume. I love the world building as well. So yeah, this is one definitely you should pick up. Next up is volume 3 of one of my favorite ongoing series as of late, Cheerful Amnesia. It follows two girls. One got amnesia, and so she doesn't even remember the relationship that they were in, and it's just a slice of life episodic manga about them going through their lives together with this girl having amnesia. It's very funny. I love the setting of an adult characters. It's just more relatable to me. And yes, it is a Yuri. Yes, it is a short series, so not a big bang for your buck, but a very thoroughly enjoyable read. Here you are with another Bungo Stray Dogs manga, Bungo Stray Dogs Dead Apple Volume 4. This is the final volume of the movie that came out, and so super excited to have this completed. I've heard really good things about Dead Apple. I've almost decided to watch the movie for this, but I just decided to wait for the manga to finish up, so now I have all 4 volumes. I can go ahead and read it. Here's a new volume 1, super intriguing to me. This Monster Wants to Eat Me. I love the cover here. It follows a character named Hinako. She is a high school student. One day she drowns and she's struggling to stay alive, and then this monster's gonna eat her, and then a mermaid saves her, but then the mermaid is actually the predator, and she's just like waiting for the girl to grow up so that she can eat her. It's super messed up. Seems really interesting. I cannot wait to dive into this short series. Another manga adaptation here. I may be a guild receptionist, but I'll solo any boss to clock out on time. Volume 3. It's just as it sounds. It's super crazy, very funny, a good fantasy manga adaptation. I like the power system. I like that this girl is super OP and she's an interesting enough character. So if you are looking for a fantasy series, sure, I think there's better things out there, but this is just a total turn your brain off read that is enjoyable. Here's actually a volume of a series I decided to drop. I read the latest 2 volumes of this series and I did not like it, so I decided to let it go, and it's I Want to Be a Receptionist in This Magical World Volume 4. This is another manga adaptation. For me personally, there were just too many problems with this. I'll talk more about it in my reading log, but just know that this is just not what you think it's gonna be. Here you are with a volume 2, Whoever Steals This Book. I have not read volume 1 of this series yet, but now that I have 2 volumes, I think it's a good way for me to go ahead and dive into this series. It follows this girl who does not like books, but her family is the guardian of a library, and then one day she gets sucked into a book and has to defend the library. Seems really interesting. Of course, I love books, so this might be right up my alley. Here we are with a thick omnibus here, an all-in-one, Mizuno and Chayama. It is a drama series following 2 girls who are part of prestigious families, but they want to pave their own way in life, confide in each other. Seems really interesting. I've actually heard really good things about this series, so I'm glad that it's an all-in-one, and I'm glad that I'm going to be able to binge this all in one go. But yeah, I'm super excited. Looks like a really nice release. Here's volume volume 5 of Heterogenea Linguistico. This has been a long time coming. Seems like these volumes come out like once every year or 2 years. It follows our two main characters as they go to different colonies and explore the different languages and stuff like that. Think like manga like Delicious in Dungeon, where you're just going around trying different things out. So yes, I've heard decent things about this. I'm gonna read the 5 volumes and then decide whether I'm gonna keep it or go ahead and offload it. It's just the release schedule is so slow. I don't know if I want to keep investing time into it. We are with a new series, Sister and Giant. A young lady is reborn in another world. You have this girl who is isekai'd into another world. She gives the option to have cheat powers. She decides to not do that and decides to forge a bond with a giant instead. So I don't know how this is gonna turn out. I only asked them to send it to me because I thought the premise seemed really interesting. I mean, you've got a giant elf looking thing on the cover, so we'll see. Here's a manga adaptation I'm super excited about, Penguin Highway, an all-in-one omnibus here, and this is an adaptation from the anime movie by Studio Colorado, and it follows these characters who are in a small town, and one day a bunch of penguins show up, and it's about the mystery of these penguins. I've watched the anime movie. I thought it was good, not great. I'm curious to see how the manga adaptation does it, but overall I think it's a very, very nice release. Really bright white pages too, so I'm super excited about this. And at the $30 price point, it is a little bit pricey, but you are getting an all-in-one, so there is a bonus with that. We are with volume 7 of Kowloon Generic Romance. I have decided to wait till this series is finished and then I will go ahead and binge it. This is not a series you can read one volume at a time. Many moving pieces following these characters. It's a sci-fi slice of life world. There's a mystery where this girl on the cover, she has like an alternate life, and it's really, really interesting, and it's hard to explain, and it's a good series, but it's definitely not one that you can read one volume at a time. Here's a volume 2 of a series I thoroughly enjoyed volume 1 of. That is Adult Picture Book New Edition. This follows a man whose best friend dies, and then he has to take care of his best friend's daughter. Our main character is actually an artist of a adult kind of genre, and it is really interesting because there are some BL tendencies here with our main character, and it explores that side along with parenthood. So it's a very, very interesting series. I thought it was very intriguing to read how these characters interact with each other, and of course the child character is super cute as well, so I'm super excited to have this release. I can't wait to read it. Next up here is a one-shot, Senpai This Can't Be Love. It is a BL and it is wrapped. I have no idea what this is about. I have actually heard of this series before. Somebody had said this series was good, so I decided to go ahead and have them send it over to me so I can take a look at it. We have some manhwa here that was sent over. I'm not going to talk too much about these, but I will tell you what I got. Volume 4 of Not So Wicked Stepmom. We have volume 7 of The Remarried Empress. I really enjoy this one. I love our main character female. She's very intriguing. Volume 4 of Jungle Juice. One of my students has actually read this, and they have told me I really need to get on this train very, very soon. It's really, really good. And last but not least, probably my favorite manhwa currently being released, Omniscient Reader's Viewpoint Volume 3. I love this post-apocalyptic vibe going on with these characters trying to survive this web novel world that was integrated into the real world. Also, I love the release too. This is super cool. You've got this like shiny like indentation into it. It's really, really nice. This next thing I'm going to show off is not a manga or a light novel. This is actually the Visions 2023 Illustrators book, and Yen Press did release the 2022 version, which is right here. So it's really, really cool to have 2 years of this. And what it is, it's a compilation of artwork done by Pixiv artists, and so it's really, really nice. I thoroughly enjoyed my read-through of the 2022 version. I cannot wait to dive into the 2023 version. There is so much cool stuff in here, so many cool artists to explore. So yeah, super excited about that one. All right, we are diving into smaller publishers right now. A volume 1 of a new publisher I've never picked up before called Inklore, My Love Story with Yamada-kun at level 999. I have heard great things about this rom-com series. The anime was very well received. Great to have this physically in English. I did hear that there was issues with the quality of the print and also the translation. They just like took the web translation and then just put it into a book format. So I'm not sure how I'm gonna enjoy it, but I did want to support this release at least for the first volume, so we'll see. But of course it has video games in it, and I love video games, so we'll see. Next up, I picked up several more volumes from the catalog of Alien books. First up, we have volume 2 of Fake Rebellion. This finishes the series. If you want to know a little bit about this series, I did a YouTube short on it. Next up, we have a new series, Enroll Back Volume 1. I've heard really interesting things about this. Follows a guy who does something after being bullied, and it's a very dark thriller drama type of manga. And next up, we have their newest release, Kerberos in the Silver Rain Volume 1. Looks really interesting. You know, when I look at the back here, it looks like Kaiji number 8. But the story follows a group of characters whose task is to protect this mysterious element called Psi. From Seven Seas, just one volume here, The Country Without Humans, Volume 5. This is the final volume of this series. I thoroughly enjoyed the first couple volumes. Volume 3 took an interesting turn, and now I have the last 2 volumes to go ahead and binge. It's been a very surprising series for me, so we'll see how this wraps up. I'm hoping it does well. It follows a girl who is the last remaining human in this robotic world, and she's trying to discover her place in this world with these robots. From Kodansha, we have 4 volumes. First up is A Kingdom of Courts. It's a new series following an orphan girl who is trying to join the ranks of the angels, and then you have these demons and they fight against each other. I've heard that this is dark and super messed up, so I am very intrigued by it, especially with the cover art and then the art on the inside. So we'll give this a volume try and see if I want to continue on with it. Here we are with volume 2 of the figure skating manga Medalist. I thoroughly enjoyed volume 1. A lot of people didn't like the info dumping going on in here. A lot of people don't like the main character girl, but I find a lot of intriguing things with this manga, and I think it's setting itself up to be something really special. I do like the cast of characters. I like the info dumping. I want to know more about figure skating, so this is really cool to me personally, and I thought that the action itself is paced well, and I'm curious to see how the action intensifies as this manga keeps going. So yes, this is very highly rated, and I think it's justified. Here we are with volume 4 of a political drama, Nina the Starry Bride. It follows this girl who is taken in by the royal palace because the actual princess dies in an accident, and she has eyes that match the princess, so they disguise this girl as the princess, and it's now her living her new life and trying to become a part of the noble family. So really interesting, lots of twists and turns in here. I enjoyed volume 1, so I can't wait to see where this manga goes from here. And here we are with a brand new series, one that I wasn't gonna pick up, but enough people talked about it that I was like, I should probably go ahead and grab this. It's called Bless, and it follows this person who is trying to become a model, and then they get into the makeup industry, and so that's really interesting to me. Kind of gives me vibes of like Blue Period and stuff like that, so I cannot wait to be educated on the makeup industry and how that works. So yeah, I love manga like this, and so I'm definitely willing to give it a shot. And from Viz Media, we have a stack of volumes here. First up, we have volumes 4 and 5 of Boy's Abyss. I had read the scans of this online up through volume 4, and then I was like, okay, I just stopped, and then I finally have caught up to the physical releases, so now I want to go ahead and read volume 5. This is a really intriguing story following a boy who is really just getting pushed to the brink of just terrible things. He lives in this small town where he's being abused, and the story follows his spiral and the people around him doing things to make his life even worse as he's trying to get out of this predicament. Very dark, very messed up. Big trigger warnings here. Don't pick this up if you're under 18. Here we are with the new volume 1 of a rom-com series. I Want to End This Love Game. I read the first chapter and I really loved the premise. You have 2 childhood friends who have a game where their goal is to get the other one flustered by saying, I love you. But the whole shtick is, now that they've grown up a little bit, they both actually like each other, and so it's this like really fun battle. Reminds me of Kaguya-sama, Love is War, and now that Kaguya-sama is now finished, this is going to be the one that takes that pedestal. Next up, up is Rainbow Days Volume 9. I've talked a lot about Rainbow Days. I have a review of the first volume on the channel, but this is a great shoujo series if you're looking for a different spin on the high school romance following 4 main character boys. And last but not least, I finally, after waiting so patiently, almost I think 3 years at this point, I got a surprise package from rest in peace, Right Stuff. We have the last 4 volumes I needed of Real by Takahiko Inoue. I have volumes 10, 11, 12, and 13. So that finishes my collection of this, at least up to date. So now I have volumes 1 to 15. I do plan on reading this within the next month. I really enjoyed Slam Dunk. I want to see what Takahiko Inoue has to bring in terms of the modern era of him writing manga, especially with this more dramatic series of wheelchair basketball. Seems really intriguing to me. Of course, the artwork is going to be absolutely fantastic in here, and I just can't wait to dive into another one of his works. And that is it for my manga haul for June 2024. I hope you enjoyed all the things that I picked up this month. Let me know down in the comments below what you picked up or anything that I should put on my radar. I promise you my goal is to upload more consistently, as I've decided to take some time off. You know, this channel is in a really interesting place. I have fulfilled all of my personal goals and dreams with this channel when I first started it over 3 years ago, which is crazy to think about, but hundreds of videos later, I think I'm at the point in my life where it's just, you know, do I feel like I want to make a video right now? Do I want to sit down and talk with you guys in front of the camera, or do I want to just enjoy my things without the pressure of content creation? And I think I'm more on the latter side of that for right now. But with that being said, I do have things that I want to record. It's just me getting the energy to actually do it. Another thing that was really interesting to me that I thought about was I started this channel when I was in a really dark place in my life, and I used this channel as an outlet for me to find light in the darkness of the world. And now, 3 years later, my life is very different, and I have found much more happiness in my career and my personal life, and with my friends and my social circle, and just in general, I just feel like I'm in a better place. And so what this channel has given to me in the past, I don't necessarily need it anymore. But that doesn't mean that I don't care about this channel at all anymore. It's just that now I have fulfilling things in my real life that maybe I don't really have to put all my eggs in one basket, which is what I had to do back in the day with this channel. So long story short, I'm here to stay. I hope that you continue to support the channel as I continue to upload things, whether it be every week like I want to, or maybe every 2 weeks, or every month. As always, if you enjoy the content of this video, make sure you hit that like button, tap the subscribe button, hit that notification bell so that you know when more of my videos will come out, and I will see you in the next one. Take care now. Bye-bye.